Hey, here we are at Feisty Chess. We've got black against Farhound 121. Let's play e5 against e4. We're on leadchess.org at a 10-5 game. Hopefully play a feisty game here. Okay, we've got the Italian. I like to play the two knights, and I like it when my opponent goes for knight g5, but not to be had. Okay. Let's play this h6 variation. It's more aggressive than it looks. Okay, the idea is we'll probably get g5 in. I've looked at a lot of lines here, and I can gather some of the ideas, but probably white is thinking black is making big strategic weaknesses here. And I probably am. Oh, but I've putted my opponent into what looks like an unsound sacrifice. Okay, I can unpin immediately with bishop at e7, or I can go rook g8 right away. Bishop e6 also makes a lot of sense here, because he's going to want to play like a queen to f6 and then try to pressure f7. None of it looks very urgent right now, though. Maybe the first thing to do is just unpin that knight. Yeah, bishop e7 seems good. And then queen f3 can be met with a knight d4 immediately. Okay, wanting to open things up there. Now is probably a good time to get bishop e6 in. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, now my rook fortunately watches over h4 still, since I haven't committed a rook h5, since I haven't committed my rook to the g file. Okay, knight taking here would keep... I can always bring my rook here, can't I? Knight takes would keep my structure intact and would also keep his queen out of f3 for a minute. He could push d4, but then the knight comes to f7 and we're on that bishop. I have to be concerned about f6 though. Knight e5, d4, knight f7, queen f3. No, I can simply take knight f7, bishop takes, then queen f3, and my knight from f7 can't come anywhere to support f6. I'd have to play rook h6, which does look awkward. You know what, I could also just play knight d7 instead of knight f7 hitting that bishop. There's no need to hit the bishop. There's only so much pressure that white can put on f6. Problem with knight d7 is my king's going to have a heck of a time getting out, getting castled. D takes e5 gives my queen this check on d4, which could hit that later. But my overwhelming instinct here is just to consolidate, rather. Well, if I take with the e-pawn, he's got queen f3 anyway. But then I can meet that with rook f8. No, okay. I just got to go with my gut and take with the pawn here. I want to keep that f-file open for my own defense. Okay, he does need to take time out to play that to prevent knight d4, or queen d4, I suppose. Where's this knight want to go? Okay, I like the looks of this, and I've got to get going here. My opponent has definitely scored a victory in terms of time management here. We could see a trade here just to force my king to give up castling rights, but I feel quite safe. I might just march with my king anyway. This gives me... I can take d3, and then I could think about castling. No, d3, ugh. This does kind of make a concrete threat. Queen d3, bishop takes, f6. Rook takes f6. And then any queen checks. put me on the open file with my queen. I don't like the look of that. Although I will have. No, I should have time to castle queenside there. I really should. So. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, we've got this. I have a check I can throw right away. Actually, my king might be safe on e7. Is that right? Well, we've got the extra piece for a pawn. E7, I can meet any checks with rook f7. I think I'm okay either way, but I like the look of e7 the best. I think d7 was also okay because I have a queen e3 check idea. Okay. Can I chase his queen with rook h8? This queen actually starts running out of squares very quickly. Let's do that. This just gives away the farm. There's an in-between check. And we're up a rook and a piece now. Okay. And Farhan 121 resigns. Thanks for the game. Now for the analysis. Let's jump right to the analysis board. A clear-cut case of an unsound attack. I do wonder if I handled the defense quite right. But yeah, this is a line. This is a line that grandmasters play, but I guess this is one of the advantages of it. It's one of these weird kinds of traps that looks like a big mistake, and it looks like white should be able to punish, because white has done everything right here, right? It's developed. Actually, h3 seems like a waste of a move, but g5 looks like the kind of move you should punish immediately. Yeah, let's put on the computer here. We got the opening book. Yeah, usually white continues with c3. g5 has not been tried in this position, but I don't know. I read a Chessable course on it, so it must not be too bad, right? Yeah, we're basically even here, but white basically throws in the towel with this sacrifice. I mean, he's got 2 pawns for the piece, so it's kind of like just a regular gambit in the number crunching sense of material. But he's not developed enough. His queen, his rooks, and his knight all sit basically useless on the back rank. And I think even with an extra tempo here, white wouldn't have all that much. So computer recommended line is bishop h6. I suppose that's one way to force a trade and get my bishop active. Okay, I like that idea. Bishop h6. Not one that I saw. Bishop h6, and then if he tries to drop back here, I can just play bishop f4. Maybe. Let's look at that. Bishop h6. This can't be good. He goes back here. Yeah, bishop f4. Now maybe this. And then rook takes. And now it's black that's doing the attacking. Just king e7. We're going to swing our queen over. It's not going to be fun for white. Okay. Bishop e7 is fine. Blunder in the numerical sense, but still a game-winning blunder. I still got a 3-pawn advantage. Knight c3 is the way to go here. White proceeds very aggressively. I think f4 makes the most sense. Now knight h5. Just inviting exchanges, I guess. That makes sense. I invited a different exchange, and again, kind of a mistake from the computer's perspective, but simplifying in a good way. Now I do have my diagonal, my king is on, a little bit uncomfortably open, but I also have more control over the center. Now I wonder about this move. Okay, it still likes knight h5. Just get that bishop to back off or ease up the pressure. Now I've also got a nice little square on... I got a couple good squares for my knight, f4 and g3. An interesting choice here. Yeah, queen takes d3. It's a cold-blooded computer move. The worries here, my hesitation here is getting my king on this file. I was imagining a lot of lines where my king runs to d7. And then if this knight somehow gets off of here and the queen comes here with check, in the meantime, I got to worry about this pin. Rook, queen, king. But it just takes white too much time since he's put this knight right here. Maybe it would have been better to play the knight to a3. So white goes through with that plan. King e7. I think king d7 would have been fine as well. Okay, queen h6 tries to hit the bishop too. Then bishop e7. Knight f3, and now that threat is real. And we've got to start chasing the queen. So yeah, maybe e7. e7 was a safer call, just staying off of that file. If I had not taken with the queen on d3, I was imagining back here. I had not taken with the queen on d3 and instead played something like, I don't know, knight to d7 or knight to g8 even. I was imagining quite a long... Ooh, that does open up for that. Quite a long slog. Up a piece for... But white has 2 pawns, and these pawns can be quite dangerous, especially when I have trouble getting my king to safety. I can't castle anymore. So, might as well... You know, this move here takes a pawn and also gets ready to castle kingside, queenside. But failing that, we can just plant our king here. Computer likes rook f2. But yeah, rook h8. And it looks like, I think here white might have realized that his queen was trapped. And it took me a while to realize that too. But let's say he goes queen g4. And now the other rook comes to g8. And that queen is just trapped. It's no longer the attacker, it is the attacked. And so he was trying to make a last-minute ploy to say maybe we'll just trade queens evenly. But of course, this. Oh, I didn't even have to. I didn't even have to give up my queen. I had the check right here, but I saw this desperado move, and being up a rook and a bishop is enough for me. I don't need to be up a whole queen. So yeah, and with 30 seconds left, if there were no increment, that would be one story. But with a 5-second increment, that makes all the difference here. And this is going to be an easy win. So I appreciate that my opponent resigned in this position. And again, thank you for the game. And thank you for watching, everyone. Stay feisty. We'll see you next time.